We are back at MobilityWOD, the ongoing episode 53 MobilityWOD project. Keep the feedback coming. You guys are doing great. Question on the message boards. Hey, what is that zebra stripe thing in the back? This is a TP quad baller. It's a great roller. It's a little bit soft. Has these very sexy wheels. I love these things. These are great. We have a whole basket of torture devices. I don't know if you've seen this, but my wife actually banished all the torture devices to the garage. It was pretty ugly. We have a groin stretcher with groin stretcher. This thing's called a Theracane. It's for hitting the nasty bits. This is a calf stretcher, various balls of torture and delights, and quad roller. This is made by the kids at TP Therapy. Love these things. We love rolling on them. If the problem is if you don't have it, you're like, oh, I can't roll. And suddenly you have something between you and getting better. One of the things that you can do between, and I want you to toy with tomorrow, if you're at your gym tomorrow, I want you to spend a couple minutes on the barbell. The barbell rolls, and I want you to roll back and forth on your feet. So homework number one is just to kind of unglue your feet, starting from this calcaneus, and your plantar fascia goes from here, and it spreads out in an arch and attaches to the metatarsal heads. You cannot love your feet enough. They just stand all day long for you. One of the questions on the message boards, what do I do about standing all day long? Well, let's make sure that the beautiful tissues that are supporting us all day long are supple, fantastic. And this is easy to talk. And so at the end of the day, let's go ahead and spend some time. And this is great and brutal. And standing on it even is fantastic. So I think that this is a great foot roller. If you don't have one of these in your garage, that's a problem. But you can work it out. Main site WOD today is muscle ups and wall balls. And I'm going to talk about two problems that I see in the muscle ups. First is that in this hollowed position, we see athletes broken and missing internal rotation of the shoulder. So if that shoulder comes forward, then I expose myself to a lot of what we call translational loading, which means my shoulder comes forward and translates through the tissues and basically power stretches the front of the shoulder. So in this position, loaded, and now I've exploded labrum, I've exploded biceps tendon, and that's a mechanism for getting really hot here. If you have torn your labrum, or if you're interested in tearing labrum, walk around and do dips like this. So it's really important that we go from a nice hollow position with feet out in front of the muscle up to pulling, and I have enough range of motion that I've got my feet and my shoulders back, and I can press up and finish in that good position with that shoulder back. So having said that, let's go ahead and spend what we know is working on a ring dip position, which is extension and internal rotation. The best way I know, one of my favorites, is what we do call the bully stretch. It's named after John Wellborn, bully extraordinaire, because he's so big. So shoulder goes back, reach behind me, grab the bar, grab a door jamb, grab something, grab a signpost. Shoulder goes back. I'm going to drop down, drop into extension, drop into internal rotation, walk away, a little bit more extension, a little bit more internal rotation, and I can just keep taking up the corners here and ending up in what looks like a pretty disgusting position. So, and that hits that corner bit, and then I'm always looking for the neck tie-in. So anchoring the neck here, let's go ahead and open up the corners and just keep hitting the two. Bias the shoulders, but if you can tie the neck in at the same time, because the quadrant is so wound up, you can really do some nice work here. Look, I just peg my pec minor and then just open it up, and I just get this pulling through the face. I'm not an animal. That's what this is about. Okay, that was a little Elephant Man reference. Second thing, if you are wall balling, and we see this mistake all the time at our gym, is that athletes crane their neck back to look for the wall ball. The problem with craning your neck back is that this is a crappy position, and remember, when I lose that neutral position, my shoulders round, I tend to slouch, I lose my hamstring attachment, everything kind of falls apart in the bottom, reminds me sitting in the chair taking a poo. Let's not do that. Let's project tall. So I need to keep my eyes up, back far enough away from the wall that I can maintain a neutral enough spine. The wall ball is a generator of huge amounts of cervicogenic exertional headache, which means I basically crush down C1. Oh, by the way, that's my riding position on the bike. So we're trying to maintain neutral, longer head positioning so I can be stronger and have better effect on my shoulders. So my head is in this position, shoulders round, and I lose all that attachment. So one of the mechanisms or cues for that is that try to keep the ball above your head. So as you wall ball, try to keep it almost like an overhead squat. Instead of bringing it down to your chest, Try to keep it above your head. You can keep your eyes neutral, looking at the ball and staying here. You'll find that you can cycle that a lot further. So watch that head positioning, all right? It also goes with that shoulder. Remember, if that shoulder goes, then I've rounded and kind of reproduced this position over and over, and I want to keep the head tall because it allows my shoulder to come back. The same pulling position I'm doing, maintaining neutral. So we've got the bully stretch, and then let's take it on in. I'm going to show you the other two things we're going to work on today. Come on, let me grab this foam roller. All right, girls are sleeping. We got bully stretch. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie my thoracic spine into being overhead. And I'm going to do this in front of the TV. Legion of Extraordinary Dancers is on pay-per-view now. So rib cage down. I'm going to reach back and hook underneath my couch. And then I can keep arms bent because that's probably the position I'm going to be in. But I'm just going to load up and then try to drop down using the roller as the fulcrum. So you can any of these positions. Right here I have the roller pretty high, come a little bit lower. Anything will work. A basketball. Someone told me today that they found a shot put to be the best hip mobility piece in the world. But just camp out and open up. This could be a couch, this could be a pole, this could be the edge. But let's just see if we can open up those shoulders so you have some extension options instead of having to crane your neck and break your midline stabilization. Last piece. Wrong over here. Into the kitchen. This is the evil soul of Starrett paleo right here. This is where it was invented. Kitchen stretch. Reaching behind, grab the kitchen sink, grab a pole, grab a post, open up, try to squeeze those shoulders back, and start by really rotating, starting with that position of trying to get the shoulders back, rib cage down, don't commit to man belly, keep the tight, squeeze your butt, and then just see if you can just open up those positions. If you are having elbow pain, make sure that you're gripping in a good position. Keep a slight bend in your elbows and keep the shoulders back. And let's do contract, relax there for a couple minutes. By opening up the shoulders, you're going to be in a much better position to be able to dip. And we've improved your rotation. We gave you something to open up the shoulders. Go kick ass tomorrow, okay? See you tomorrow.